Very good, guys. What is this? It is why it is changed? Not changed. The same thing only. Guys, first we'll see the general boot process, whether it is a Windows or a Linux. Okay, whatever it is a Windows or Linux, we'll see. So general common boot process. Then we'll see the Linux boot process. Okay, so what is actually boot processing? Okay, you power on your system. Okay, so morning like almost like 8:30, 8:40, I power on my system. After some time, means after 1 minute like that, I got a login screen. I log into my system, and some startup application services are started. Then I can start using my system, right? So in our system, and after powering on my system, what happens inside a system? What happens inside a system? The process, the step-by-step process happens inside my system. Okay, that is called a boot processing. When I power on my system. Okay, so that is the boot process. So you can easily tell in one single line means it's step-by-step process of loading operating system by the computer itself. So you're not loading it. You are loading means it's a like you are installing. Installing is different. Installing means earlier there is no OS. So right, you are installing a new operating system or a fresh operating system to your system. Like you have a laptop or desktop or a virtual machine. You're installing a OS. Okay, that is installation. Means earlier, no operating system, or maybe there is an operating system, you are replacing it or maybe upgrading to the new version. Okay, that is installation of operating system or deployment of operating system. Deployment, installation, both are same. Here it is. Okay. But what is this boot processing is? Of course, in installation of OS also there is a booting. But okay, guys, my screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, power cut. Just power cut internet gone. Now it is came back again, just in a 1 minute only. Okay. So What I said, it is already your operating system is there in your hard disk. So you power on your system from hard disk, it's there in the hard disk. It has to be loaded to your RAM. Then you got a screen and then login screen. Then you log in. Some services, system related services, user based services, applications will be loaded, right? So what is this process? It is you are not doing any loading now. It is simply OS is already there in your hard disk. It's loading OS from your hard disk to your RAM. Okay, that process, that step-by-step process, we call it as a boot processing. So that's why it is step-by-step process of loading OS by the computer itself, system itself. Okay. The very first thing is you have to power on. So power on your system. So what happens in your system when you power on it? Power supply is distributed to all components of the computer. Your motherboard, your processor, your RAM, your hard disk, okay, your keyboard, your mouse, everything get a power supply. What system will do it? Okay, once power is distributed, what system will do it? It perform a test that is called a post test. Power on self test. What is this? Power on self test. So what is the first step of the boot processing is power on self test. System test itself to make sure all components are working. Okay, means already all primary components, mainly all primary components working on that. Okay, along with all other components, and it is give a priority to the primary components like CPU, RAM, motherboard, on motherboard chipsets. You give priorities. Once everything is good, then post is successful. Okay, so what is the thing again? When you power on your system, power is distributed to all the components of the computer. System perform a test called a post test. It is power on self test. System test itself to make sure all primary components working on it. Okay. Next. Once post is successful. Once post is successful. Okay. So based on the BIOS boot priorities, in your system you have a BIOS chip. This BIOS is a firmware. The BIOS is nothing but a firmware which is inside your okay. Where is this BIOS firmware is located? Inside your ROM chip. RAM and ROM. So in a ROM chip, this BIOS is there. So BIOS is a program. What type of program? It is a firmware. It's a piece of software only. It's a piece of program. Okay. It's a firmware. BIOS is a firmware which is inside your ROM chip. So that's why your ROM chip also called as BIOS chip. Or sometimes we call it as a CMOS chip also. Okay. So this BIOS helps to boot your system. Okay. It helps your system to perform post operation. And also this BIOS having a date and time running. And when you power on your system, the BIOS will recognize your hardware devices. It contains your hardware device information, settings, boot priorities in your BIOS chip. So what it is? The second step is based on these boot priorities, based on the BIOS boot priorities, our system will search for the bootable device, search for the bootable device in the priority order wise. Like for example, the first priority is hard disk, CD-ROM. So it will check is any OS device is inserted in CD-ROM. Yes, then load from the CD-ROM. It won't check the remaining devices. In case no OS in the CD-ROM or DVD, then it check for the next one. For example, next one is a removable device like a pen drive. Is any pen drive is connected with the OS? Load from it. Yes, load from it. No, go for the next one. For example, next one is your hard disk. Hard disk contains a OS. Then it will recognize this is a bootable devices or hard disk, then load OS from the hard disk. No, means it will check for the other device, like a network. Like that, it is priority. For example, your OS contains in your hard disk. Generally, our OS is in the hard disk only. So it search for one by one, it will search it. OS, it will find it is a hard disk. Yes, hard disk contains a OS. Load OS from the hard disk. So it search for the bootable device. Who is the bootable device now? It is our hard disk only. Based on the boot priority, search for who is having a OS. Next. Once it found the bootable device, like a hard disk. In the hard disk, it contains a record called MBR or GPT records. This record contains location of bootloader file. The voice contains bootloader files, right? So this is the bootloader file. Okay. So based on your hard disk contains MBR or GPT records. The records will tell you where is this bootloader. So I removed that one to make it more easier. So again, I put a MBR GPT extra added. So your first you find a system found bootable device based on the boot priority. In the bootable device, you try to find where is bootloader. How it will be found based on that MBR and GPT records. So first it will find bootloader and it load the bootloader. Yes, if you are using Windows, for example, Windows 10 and Windows 11, generally we are using right now, right? So what is the bootloader name is bootmgr. Okay, Windows Vistas, Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11. Okay, and Windows servers, 2008 server, 2012 server, 2016, 2019, 2022. The bootloader name is bootmgr. If you take older version of Windows, Windows XP, 2003 server, 2000 server, okay, Windows 98, Windows 95, Windows 97, these are all having a NTLDR is a bootloader. So right now, what is our bootloader for Windows is bootmgr. If it is a Linux system, the bootloader name is GRUB. In all our Linux, mainly Fedora-based Linuxes, what we are using is a Fedora-based Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Oracle Enterprise Linux, or a CentOS. These are all. The bootloader is GRUB. The current version of GRUB is GRUB version 2. Okay, so you found a bootable device, then in the bootable device, search for the bootloader. Okay, the bootloader will be loaded into your RAM. Then this bootloader will tell where is your operating system files location. Okay, and how to load this voice. The voice also having a different modes. You take a Windows. Currently, we are using full mode of Windows operating system. Full mode means complete GUI mode we are using. It runs multiple applications, right? Multiple applications, services, network, display, everything is working here. But in a Windows, we have another mode is called a safe mode. What is this safe mode? What is the safe mode? Okay, in a safe mode, it's a minimal kind of OS used for troubleshooting. Not all services, applications, devices won't work in the safe mode. Okay, it's for troubleshooting purpose in Windows. Coming to the Linux, Linux have a multiple modes out there. Example like a single user mode, multi-user mode without NFS, multi-user mode with NFS, multi-user mode with GUI. Okay, so different modes are there. So which mode is configured? What run level? It has to be loaded. Run level 5 means multi-user mode with NFS. I think I didn't open my system. So yesterday, my Linux machine become a CLI mode, right? So yesterday I have troubleshooted. See, so we'll see. Okay. So let it open and we'll see. Okay. So what is this run level? What run level is defined inside this graph file? Okay. So based on that, it will be loaded. That mode will be loaded. Run level 5 means it is a multi-user mode with GUI, with NFS. NFS means here it is not a NFS file system, it's a network with network. Okay. If run level is 3, it's a multi-user mode with NFS, with networking, but no GUI. It's a minimal type. Okay, without GUI. Only CLI. Another is run level 2, for example, run level 2. Okay, it's a multi-user mode without NFS, means no networking. Okay, like this. You single user mode also there. Okay. Kind of stuff. Okay, so this based on that GRUB configuration, voice will be loaded. Once voice is loaded into your RAM, voice is loaded into your RAM, then you got a login screen. Once it is voice is loaded, once load is loaded, voice is loaded right now, then it is you got a login screen. So once you while it is voice is loading, okay, all hardware and voice based services will run automatically. Okay. Next one is once you log in, the user based services, that which user you log in, that user based profile will be connected, that user based application and services will start. Okay. Once it is loaded, you can start using your system. So this is the general boot processing kind of stuff. So what's the difference between general boot processing to Linux? So there is a files, so different file names you have to speak, you have to discuss. Okay. So this is a general boot processing, guys. Any question you got it in an interview. Okay. What is a boot processing or Windows boot process? So don't need to worry. Simply tell these steps on. For Linux boot processing, few points are added. Remaining is same only. Okay. So for example, Linux bootloader is grep. For Windows, bootloader is bootmgr. Okay. So what will be loaded after bootloader is loaded? Then what is in the bootloader? What images will be attached after loading it? What voice kernel is loaded first? Then voice shell will be loaded. So operating system having kernel and shell. So first kernel will be loaded, then shell will be loaded. So what is the connectivity? What kind of run level it will be loaded? So those kind of stuff will be added with the Linux boot process. So all remaining is same boot processing only for Windows, Linux, Mac, everything is same. Only the connecting files. Okay, what type of image boot processing is there? So you see this diagram, easy to remember boot processing. Okay, you want to remember easily. Guys, see this same boot processing you search in the internet. So a lot of websites are available to explain the boot process. Even you can go to different images to find the boot process. Which one is correct boot process? So there is a little difference between one to another one, but commonly same only. Some are putting additional names, some are putting simple names only. Some are putting MBR, GPT kind of stuff, some additional file related information. So which boot processing you have to speak at interview time? Which one you are feel easy to speak, easy to tell? Which one is easy to tell? So practice that one. Okay. You can take what are I given, and if you feel that is quite easy, and practice telling of boot processing, and you can take that answer. That is also correct one. Okay. Or you want something which is from your, it's available in internet or YouTube or some images. Okay. You want to, which one is, you feel good, you're able to explain that one easy way. Okay, you can take that one also, no problem. Okay, but without changing actual meaning, you can tell any questions, any answers, guys. Okay, important is you have to tell answer normally, simple way, normally, simple way, not with a heavy words or difficult words. Sometimes you stuck with an answer, you try to remember, and you are stuck in that answer, or fillers. Some people do, mainly in interview, the mistake is fillers. Next, okay. So same thing I will tell. So power on my system, next, first process, next, okay, like that, okay. So like that, more fillers people. So try practicing, and while practicing, you can avoid this kind of fillers, pauses, pauses. Pausing is also there. Okay. Post process. Post is post power on uh, test. Okay. Like that, like that. So, so people will pass somewhere. So why we are passing? No practice. Or they choose very difficult answer. They try to practice difficult answer, unable to express. It's a difficult answer or light answer, which does not mean you can able to tell or not. That is a very important one. You want to add more details like a MBR, GPT records, or like that. It is for anything, guys. I'm giving one example here, but for any answer, what is DHCP server? Simply tell DHCP server will provide an IP address to the client devices, or it assign an IP address to the client devices. It configure IP address to the client devices. All are same only. One sentence I use assign, configure. In another one I use provide. Okay. So actually assign or configure is more accurate compared to provide, but it's okay to do this. So you should not, you are not changing actual meaning. Meaning is not changing, right? What word you are using it. Okay. So that's the point. What is DORA process? Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Client send a discovery packet to discover server, DHCP server. DHCP server give IP offer to the client. Client request for IP address to DHCP server. DHCP server give acknowledgement, then client is configured with IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address, DHCP server address, release duration. Okay, simple. But you are going with the entire story starting only. What is DORA process? The client don't have an IP address, sending an IP address, DHCP packet. So what happened? You are slowing down the answer. So practice, give it more simple, easy. Or try to take some questions, practice yourself, record it, listen to yourself. So that is also make you to what are the mistakes you are doing it, how you feel your answer. Even your answer is correct, but how you feel that is answer. This is answer is more attractable or not. Or you guys are there, so almost like your 5-6 members are there, right? So you take a day like one Sunday or Saturday or evening or morning, create one Google Meet, start discussing about a topic. You are completed networking, Windows servers, now it is Linux. So try discussing that topic. Take one day. Okay, in a week, take 1 or 2 days. Discuss the topic. Then you will get more interest in the topic. You can able to remember and you can able to speak. Okay, you can try any language. My preference is English language. Why? Because of interviews in English, so more you can able to speak. Okay, that is a important. Some guys are guys, one time they listen, they will remember. Some people require 3-4 times. Okay, for what we required is you should get selected. We should get it. You should able to perform interview better. That's the point. Yeah, enough of that thing. Okay. Anything, anyone? You guys should never speak now. Okay. Yeah. Once again, we back to the boot processing. So this diagram will easily, you can able to remember things. So first is powering on, of course. So what is the next step is, what is first is the powering on. After powering on, what is the first step is actually post. In boot processing, step is post. Total processing is powering on. So you power on, then only post it is, right? So first step of the boot processing is post, power on, self-test. So next is search for the bootable device. So load the bootloader. Bootloader will tell you how to load operating system. Operating system kernel will be loaded, and then that remaining voice is loaded. It is started a system related process and give user space, means login screen. Once you log in, user based services, okay, and applications will start based on your startup applications and all. Okay. So yesterday, so while we are installing this HTTP, FTP kind of stuff, also we are enable the services, right? So what happened? What are the services are enabled? Okay, that is also start when system is started. Once voice is loaded, automatically these services also loaded. Okay, that's the point. So guys, this is a basic boot processing for any system, Windows or Linux. Next is Linux based, only Linux related boot processing. Steps are same, only the files are different. Guys, understand the common boot processing? Any questions, doubts? Hmm? Do you understand the boot processing? Normal common boot processing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, understood.
Good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, this is Linux boot processing. Okay, of course, anything is same only. First is post or on self-test. Next, in the bootable device, our system such first check the MBR record or GPT record, depends upon the your firmware and the disk. Okay, so in that one, it try to find, okay, where is the bootloader. So that's in our Linux, the bootloader is GRUB. So version is GRUB version 2, GRUB 2. In this GRUB means in the bootloader, it contains the booting configuration, means where what are the files has to be loaded first. Okay, so first it is loading VM list kernel image. Okay, so this VM Linux means not X, it is Z. Li VM LIMNUZ. This is the image file will be loaded. Then extract this INIRAMFS image to load. Okay, so where is these files? My system is on. Okay, I got a GUI screen finally. I forget one thing, that is, no, I taken a screenshot of this machine, so I can restore directly from the screenshot. It's okay. So guys, this is my machine. So what we are going to do is ls space slash boot. What is this slash boot? Contains bootable files. These are all bootable files. Can you see this is VM LINUZ. Okay, see the different version VM LIZ. Another one is INITRAMFS. Okay, GRUB2. GRUB2. This is a folder. EF5 loader. Okay, these are the all bootable files are located here, and go to the GRUB2. So there is font, GRUB configuration, GRUB environment. The file is GRUB configuration. I don't know how much bigger it is, but we'll use cat. So this is the configuration, grub configuration. Right. Okay. If you change anything here, it cannot be loaded. So when it will be executed, and in this configuration file, it will tell where is the other files are located. The script it is. In the script, it will be executed and it will be loaded. What to connected and what to load. Okay. Can't see what is there inside. Whatever it is. All EFR files only. Nothing we can't. Yes, there is. Set no flappy, true dev only, set dev, export prefix, only small things. But whatever it is, so we find something like this in the under a slash boot. These are the images. Of course, I will show that actual loading graph file also. I will show it. Okay. So these images will be loaded. First is VM, LINUX, and UZ will be loaded. Okay. Then it extract this inet RAM FS image also. It is loaded. Extracted means loaded. Next, then it will tell. So where is the Linux means operating system kernel part? The kernel will be loaded. Okay, first is bootable file, bootloader, then OS kernel is loaded. In a kernel, so already what are the it loads necessary driver modules from init RD image. So there is a init RD image, so contains your hardware related files. Okay, about your CPU related programs, RAM related, motherboard related, components related, it will be loaded. Once the kernel, the device related, hardware related files are loaded, then it start a process. That's the first process is systemd process is started. First process is systemd process is started. Next, so once this systemd process is started, okay, it read the configurations from /etc systemd directory. The configurations will be loaded. So that configuration comes under like a /etc systemd system default.target. What is linked file for a default.target? It verifies and it is load the target file. So based on that, you are getting GUI screen or a multi-user mode kind of stuff based on that one only. So this is the target file. Okay. Systemctl get default. So this is your graphical.target is there. Okay. How you know it is a graphical target? It is yeah. So we will go to that /etc system default. What is there inside? Okay. I want this default.target on. See, you can see the default.target. This is the file, right? First, systemd process runs and read the components of under systemd. Okay, in that one, default.target is linked to this file. What it is? /usr/lib systemd system graphical.target. It's a linked file. So it read the file content here and load according to it. Okay. If you want to read the, the file like this, /usr /lib /system d and system graphical. Oh, no. Okay. So this is the file content. So description is graphical interface. Okay, require multi-user target. Okay, of course, that content also it is loaded, plus graphical information is also loaded. Okay, so configuration. This is it read this file again and load according to this file. Okay, so this is your Linux boot system. I have a picture on my desktop. This is a Linux boot processing picture. It's not a picture, it's a GIF. It's a GIF. Okay. I'm sending this GIF to you. Okay. See this GIF. Where is the GIF? First is power on. Next is post. BIOS or UEFI means it's a post. Next is detect a bootable device based on the BIOS settings. BIOS boot priorities. Detect the devices, bootable device. Choose what bootable device having BIOS set. Detect what are the bootable device based on the boot priority. Okay. So boot device. In the boot device, first it will load GRUB. It's a bootloader. And once GRUB is loaded, your kernel so GRUB is extract these images, loading these images VM line LINUX not X, it's Z, and inet RAM FS also extracted. Once it is the boot files are loaded, then it will load. It will tell voice kernel. The necessary device related files will be loaded from the inet RD file. Okay, inet RD file it will be loaded, kernel loaded. Once it is loaded, it start the system D process. First start process is system D process. The system D process verifies this default.target file. It is default.target files, and what it is linked. It is linked to multi-user.target file or graphic.target file or rescue.target file, like where it is linked. Okay, and it will read that file and load according to it. Okay, so then finally user get a login screen. So it's loaded and all the other services, okay, also loaded, all running, all the system based services, user based services also loaded, and it will get a login screen. User login, then user can start working with the Linux system. Okay, so user login means user related environmental variables profile data is connected and it can work on the system. This is also explain easily how to do it. And it also showing ls/etc/grub.config. Yeah, grub2.config. Not ls, it is you have to use reading cat. It's the same like a script. It's a way to connect, what to load, that kind of stuff. Okay, and if an EFI, the same script. Okay, this script is executed to load the bootable files. We can't read that script and entirely and discuss. This is the Linux boot process. Okay, So what is this systemd? It is a kernel starts when kernel is loaded, it starts the systemd process. The process ID of the systemd is 1. Okay, it's the first process that start after system boots, and it's a final process that is running when system is shut down. Means when you start your system, what process is started is systemd. When you're shutting down the system, what is the last process is closed is a systemd. First is systemd, last is also systemd when you are shutting down. When start, first is systemd. When shut down, last is systemd. It controls final stage of booting and prepare system for use. It is also speed up booting by loading services concurrently. Your services also loaded from here. And the system reads the files like a default.target. Okay. And this target is linked by. It means where it is linked, what it is linked. Is it linked to multi-user.target means multi-user mode is loaded, but no GUI. So you want a GUI is graphical.target. If it is linked to graphical.target, you got a GUI screen. It is linked to the multi-user.target. It means no GUI, minimal system only you will get it. To determine default system target equivalent to run level, okay, the system target file determines services, that's it, system D. Okay, the target file decide what are the things has to be loaded. Okay, so guys, understand the Linux boot processing. This is normal boot processing. This is Linux based. In Linux, again, same sequence, things are added. Bootloader time, bootloader name, bootloader files, kernel, and process starting process, and which mode of system has to be loaded, multi-user mode or a graphical mode. Understand up to here? Next is about a run levels. Guys, when we are using, well, not you, when we are using, means older people like me or Madhu sir, we are also use Linux older version 6.5 versions and all. You know, that time, if you are attending an interview based on the Linux, the very first question is explain run levels. In our older version, so these run levels are defined inside this /etc/inet tab. So when system is loaded, when while voice is loading, portable files are loaded. Okay, portable files, GRUB files are loaded, kernel is loaded. So your system process will verify this inet tab. In inet tab, what mode is defined, it will load according to that one only. Okay, so this is the inet tab file. So that inet tab file is look like this one. Okay, see this is id colon 5 colon inet default. It is showing 5. The 5 represent X11. What is X11 means GUI. So it will verify if the 5 is there. So what is the 5 meaning is X11. X11 means GUI based. So load the GUI related files also, along with the other multi-user files, required files, and also GUI files also loaded. So user will get a GUI screen. That is a 5. In case instead of 5, it is a 3 is there. Then it's a full multi-user mode. It's a multi-user mode will be loaded, but no GUI. In case it is there with a 2, then multi-user mode without NFS means there is no networking, do not have a networking kind of stuff. Multi-user mode. Multiple users can log in, but no network access is not there. In case it is a 1, it is a single user mode. Mainly these single user modes used for a troubleshooting purpose. In case it is a 0, it is a shutdown. You power on your system boot while system is booting. Okay, GRUB is loaded, kernel is loaded, and inet tab is reading to load what mode of OS. It is a shutdown mode. Again, it will shut down. Again, it will be shut down. In case you put a 6, you power on your system will be restart on. So generally, we don't use 0 and 6 in the configuration. Either you use 3 or 5 only. So these are the different run levels. Okay, different run levels. 0 means halt or a shutdown or a power off. 6 means reboot or restart. So that 4 is user defined, means user has to write separate script for what kind of mode they want it. Okay, and 1 is represent single user mode, only CLI, no GUI. It's usually for troubleshooting purpose. 2, multi-user mode without a network, no GUI. Without network and GUI. Third, run level third is full user mode with network, only CLI, no GUI. 5, X11 means full multi-user mode with network and GUI. Okay, earlier days to shut down our Linux machine, we use these inet commands. Inet 0 to shut down the system, to reboot inet 6. One day, this is, people are usually do it. Every user to shut down, they don't search for any other thing, simply inet 0 to shut down, to reboot inet 6. Okay, so one day some guys commented me, so you learn only this in Linux. So actually, if you don't know this one, people say you're Linux illiterate. Linux illiterate. Okay, run levels you don't know, you're a Linux illiterate. Okay, so but when he commented, then I started using other commands also, like a power off, reboot, direct commands. I use it. Okay, so comparison of this with that one. So in a 7 onwards, the 0 means power off, 6 means reboot, same thing only. The 1 represents rescue, means for troubleshooting any Linux related issues. 2, 3, 4 is a multi-user target. So there is no with a network, without network, like that. It is not there. User mode is not there. It's 2, 3, 4 all representation of multi-user target. 5 represents graphical target. You can also see from the table. Run level 0, run level 1, run level 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Run level 5, run level 6. It's a non-graphical multi-user shell. It's a graphical multi-user shell, graphical.target. Guys, understand up to here? What is run level? Type run level. So my run level is 5, it is showing. Systemctl get default. So default is graphical.target. Okay. So right now, but I want to go back once and I will want to show you what is this graph file is look like when it is loading. Okay. Just I'm going to reboot my PC. Okay. Reboot my PC. Command is reboot. Use your up arrow or down arrow for interrupting the sequence. Like this. When you got this screen, use your up arrow, down arrow buttons to interrupt the next process. Okay. So compulsory make sure you click on the screen. Your mouse is showing like this. You have to click on the screen before this occurs. Once it is came, use your up arrow, down arrow kind of stuff. Okay. And what is the latest one is the top one. Top one is the latest one. This is a rescue, single user mode rescue for troubleshooting Linux internal issues, anything you want to change. That's a rescue mode. This is UEFI settings in case you want to go to UEFI basic settings. Anyway, the first so as per the list, this is the one. Actually, this grub is loaded. Okay, this grub file is loaded. So I will press a E, pressing E to edit. E. See this file. Load underscore video. It is showing set something GFX payload keep and the Linux. This is thing under root. It is showing this VM linx. This file will be loaded. And where is another file is like a wait, this is the crash kernel crash record will store here. Okay, resume this RT file, this swap memory. Okay, this is inet rd and inet ram fs. This will be extracted. Once it is extracted, completed, then what are the files, what are the hardware configurations are there? It is under inet rd. Your hardware files. It will tell what are the hardware drivers has to be loaded first, kernel. Okay, this is the grub file. First grub will load this VM Linux is loaded. Then inet ram fs, that image is loaded. Then the kernel part of OS will be loaded from with the help of this inet rd file. It indicating what are the kernel files has to be loaded first. Means device hardware device related files has to be loaded. Then systemd process will be started. It will ask checked with the linked file of short link, right? Short link, hard link. So linked file of for a default.target. What is the linked one? Is a multi-user target or a graphical target? If it's a graphical target, load the graphical related files, that kind of files, and I'll load it. If multi-user target means only multi-user related files has to be loaded and voice will be completed and you have to log in to use. So to continue, simply press escape and continue. So you can press escape to previous. I went to the grub. This grub related commands to give. Okay, not I'm doing it, just Control X, Control C, escape, quit, exit. Again it escape. Now I'm not interrupting anything. I leave like that on. Okay, it loads. Now again it is booted. So I given wrong password. Again it is started. Guys are okay up to here? Understand the bootable files, the names, how to check your grub file kind of stuff. Hmm? Hmm? Okay. So up to here we learn something like systemctl, get default. So what is this get default is graphical.target. Now I want to use multi-user one, not a graphical one. But when I'm installing this machine, so I select a server with GUI, so that GUI related files also loaded here. Already loaded here. That's why I'm getting a GUI screen. Simple, right? but I want to go with the multi-user mode. So how to switch to multi-user mode? The first thing is get default is a graphical.target, first one. What is the second one is I want to show you the run levels. Right now, 5. 5 means graphical.target. Okay. Before I'm changing. Next, I want to change. How to change? Systemctl set hyphen default. Okay. Multi multi underscore user. So not underscore multi and hyphen user dot target. So press enter. Now the link is changed. Actual link is earlier for default dot target is graphical dot target. But now the link is now it is link is changed to multi underscore user target. I'm going to reboot my PC. So I'm restarting my system. What happens? So from graphical to multi-user, I changed it. The network, everything is works. Okay, now what it is showing? Login. No GUI. It's only pure CLI. Everything works. Everything works. But only thing is no GUI. Every small letters are showing. Guys, are you able to see the screens? Very small now it is. So I logged in. I logged in. Okay. So systemctl. Yeah, I will try to show it from the putty because it is the letters are very smaller size. Okay, it works of course. Same account, not changes anything, right? Root. Okay. Uh, systemctl get default. See, it is changed to multi underscore user dot target. Check the run level. Now it is 3 multi-user mode with the network without GUI. Okay, we successfully change it to other one. Guys, understand how we have changed it. Once again, when I'm installing this machine, I installed with the server GUI. Means GUI related files already in this machine. So I can convert the GUI to CLI type, means multi-user type, or multi-user to graphical type also. If I install with a minimal, so no graphical kind of stuff is won't be there. Okay, so we'll see that one also. Systemctl set default graphical target. So now it is a change from multi-user target to graphical target. Okay, so I removed the previous, again recreated a new symbolic link. New symbolic link. Soft link or a symbolic link. Symbolic link, soft link, both are same. Okay, like a short link. Now, what is my run level? It is showing previously. Till you reboot, it won't apply. You have to reboot it. Yeah, in putty we are disconnected, and here it is rebooted. Okay, from putty we don't know whether it is graphical or not. Of course, by the sentence we know it, but real physical machine we don't know. Okay. that information is there in your document as well as in PPT. Please go through it. Second PPT, two PPTs are there. 1 and 2, 2. Yes, we got a graphical screen anyway. Okay, graphical. So we are disconnected. So we'll reconnect it again. Check it. What is your my run level? 5. What is my default? Is graphical data. So this is how to change from GUI to CLI, CLI to GUI kind of stuff. Okay. Yesterday, what happened? I am in a GUI mode only. I'm in a GUI mode only. So graphical.target only. But these GUI files are not loaded. And it is went to the CLI, but when I'm checking, the target name is showing graphical.target. Run level is also 5, but it's not giving GUI. I restarted, started, I done all changes I have done yesterday. So finally, I found a solution that we asked to just install the server with GUI once again. Maybe the files are not loading properly. Okay, somewhere it is facing some issues. Then I install like this. DNF group install. So last time we have only used install package name, but certain in a M or a DNF, we can club a club of multiple packages with some sentences there. For example, you want to make a setup of a Linux machine for a web, for running some kind of applications, some Java based application, or maybe it's a different application you want to run, but that application environment is required, right? So maybe C, C++, Java, different environment to run it, supporting files are required. Or maybe you want to develop an application on Linux, so that supporting environment is required. So how to install that environment? One by one file you can't able to install it, right? So what to do? DNF group install in a quotes development tools. Development tools, that all development related tools will be loaded. Similarly, here I use M group install server with GUI. All the packages related to the server with the GUI related packages will be downloaded and installed into my PC. And after installation, then I restart my PC, I got a GUI screen. Okay. So this is how I troubleshoot it. I just said now, so M install, M group install development tools or developer tools. We'll check it one. Okay, it is asking yes or no, but operation happened very good. So it is in the group modules, like it is installing all these packages, G, C++. Okay, so all Git something like a parallel RPM builders to build an RPM file and their dependencies. So each individual you are installing is very difficult. So I want to set up and run array to create an application. So what we to do, simple, M group install development tools. So all the development tools names, as I said now, inside our metadata. So metadata means what is the file name, what is the this file purpose of the file, okay, and their dependency file, locations, information in the metadata. So when I say development tools, what are the application packages pointing for the development tools in metadata? That will be listed here. When I say yes, automatically it will be loaded and installed into my PC. Right now I'm not doing anything, just to show purpose only. Second. Okay, guys, understand the boot processing of general boot processing, Linux boot processing, system D process, and run levels, and the how to change a run level from the graphical to multi-user, multi-user to graphical. Understand up to here?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. So I